Success. Okay, so turns out that this driver's side anti-roll bar end link is still loose on the bar. I tightened it like last year, and because it was loose. It's not as loose, but the bar is clearly moving on the stud. So I'm a little bit afraid that the bar hole is actually opened up from perhaps somebody put it together crappy and it just banged around until it just opened the hole up. So that's definitely causing a problem. If I bounce the car, which I probably can't do with the camera, but I will try, you can see, I don't know if you probably can't see that. There's some relative motion there. So, however, rattle-wise, I'm still dealing with brake caliper nonsense. If I could hold the camera here, I'll show you that. Well, check this out. Hear that? That's the caliper. And the passenger side, kind of the same thing. So this thing needs new caliper brackets and pins. I have the brackets reman. Hopefully those are to spec, and I've got some OEM pins coming. But right now, let's tighten this, or maybe PB blast it, loosen it, Loctite it, and tighten it. Alright, so I got the end link out, and oh my god. So, good news first, the bottom, fine, no problem. Top, huge fight. A couple different things. So, tried the nut splitter 2 or 3 times with a nut, managed to mangle it, so that was done. I tried the torch. Actually, I tried the torch and PB before the nut splitter. That didn't work. The nut splitter a bunch of times. Then my my Allen started to strip, right? So then I sawzalled the other side off, and I think the piece is over there, right there. Okay, so I sawzalled the piece off on the other side, but that wasn't enough. So then I tried to sawzall on this side and actually ended up kind of cutting into the anti-roll bar here, which I'm probably just going to try to clean up and paint it. I'm hoping there's plenty of structure there. That won't cause a problem. Just don't want it to rust. So I tried cutting through that, but then it was fighting me because it turns out I was actually skinning my anti-roll bar. Okay, so then I put vice grips on the ball of the link, and actually was able to twist off the rest of the nut because I had cut that nut basically in half before, so it wasn't fighting me anymore. So I put vice grips on the ball and vice grips on the nut and just twisted it apart. So that's it. I got a new one right here, Napa, although it matches the picture perfectly for the AC Delco Professional on Rock Auto. Of course, I paid a good $20 more at Napa because I wanted it right now. Well, at least they stocked it. They stocked it, and the front and right and front left are the same, which is nice. So probably just gonna clean up that bar, spray something on it. I'll have to see if I have some paint. I do have some brush on Rust-Oleum, but I'd rather just hit it with a little rattle can stuff, but we'll see. So yeah, should be about done now. And again, the bottom didn't really fight me, so something happened with that top. I don't know what it was. The hole does seem bigger. I'm going to take the new end link and hold it up to that hole and see if it's excessively sloppy. I mean, I don't know. What does this look like to anybody? Does that look like anything? I mean, it's a hole, right? I don't know. So, I mean, what am I going to do? Like, weld it and drill it? Like, I don't think I don't feel like that, but guess what? Guess what? Removing the anti-roll bar in this car, terrible. You gotta do all kinds of crap, especially with the all-wheel drive. You gotta pull all this crap, jack the engine up probably. I mean, it's just unbelievable. So, hope, really just gonna do everything but replace that bar. That's not even, I mean, holy crap, I'll live with a rattle before I replace that bar. But anyway. So yeah, let's get to it. So 2 real wet coats of, Krylon, Rust Tough, nice and runny. Of course, it's like upper 40s. It's probably not going to dry real well, but it just needs to protect the metal, I guess. It can finish drying after I get the thing back together and put outside in the rain. Anyway, just looked at the torque spec in my manual. 85 pound-feet. I know somebody's going to be surprised it's that high, but honestly, it's not surprising at all because the stud is large and the nut takes an 18 millimeter wrench. So let's see. Lug nuts tend to be 19. They take about 100. This one takes an 18 and it's 85. Yep, that all sounds right. So I'm going to reassemble it. I decided I'm going to use Loctite Blue also, even though these are these nuts have a number of features here. One is they've got the crimped end locking style. It's kind of very factory. GM does it a lot. I'm sure other people do. It also has these kind of star, not star, but it's an anti-loosen type of knurling. So between those two things and the Loctite Blue, I'm hoping that the clamping force will actually hold this thing on there because it does seem loose in the bar, especially up and down. So I think that's been like that for a while and it just kind of beat up the inside of the bar. That's too bad. But short of like welding it and trying to drill it again, and I just am not in the mood for that. So I'll crank it down to 85, which I can't get a torque wrench on there because I have to hold it back with a 5mm Allen wrench, right? But here's the thing: 85 pound-feet on a 12-inch wrench. That's about as tight as I can do it, right, by hand. Maybe not 2 hands, but so I'm kind of gonna just do that. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, she's in. I cranked it kind of as hard as I could with the wrench. I mean, not like my life depended on it hard, but pretty hard with one hand. So this, I didn't do anything on this one other than just put it on and make it tight. The upper one, let's see if I can get some weight on the subject there. Where is that? Oh, there it is. Hang on. Yep, so blue Loctite on that guy and really cranked it down, got some paint on the bar. I don't know if that's gonna hold up or not, but I really hope so. And we'll say if in another few months to a year if I hear that clunking come back, I'm gonna be pretty upset. But I do know I need to do these rotors, or I'm sorry, the calipers. Those rock in the brackets. That's not right either. But I think the anti-roll bar was actually a bigger cause of the clunking coming back, which I attributed to the brakes. So still need to do the brakes, but I think the bar was the problem. I cranked it down. I don't know. Put paint on it. What am I supposed to do, right? So I'm sure I'd love to road test this. I'm sure the big clunking that caused me to do this is gone. It's just a matter of whether or not it'll stay tight and not slip on that bar. There's actually kind of a lot of force on that. It's a big bar on this car actually. So I don't know. Time will tell. Alright, I wanted to just show and tell here. So this was the bottom, and that came out fine. Now here's the top, and you can see that I cut this nut, right? I actually had this backwards. So here, this is pretty much the stack up that I was dealing with. Alright, so this is the outside. It's got the 5mm. I sawzalled the nut in half. Half of it is on here. Half of it is in this vice grip. And the nut was on this thread. This ball joint was inside of this. It's not really broken. I popped it out. So after I did everything that I described with the sawzall and the torch and everything, I was able to just vice grip this ball, vice grip this nut, and I was just able to unthread this stud from the what was left of the nut, and that did work. And I wish I tried that before I sawzalled through the anti-roll bar, but hey, nobody's perfect. So that's the deal. It's on the car. I haven't road tested it yet. It's still on the ramps, but I am optimistic. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. It's just a matter of how long. So, yeah. So we're test driving, and it does seem to be gone, as I predicted. That wasn't really a question, because like I said before, I tightened it, the old one, and that actually relieved it for quite a while, actually. It wouldn't tighten anymore, and it wouldn't really loosen, so something was wrong with the old one, the stud. I don't know, I should take another look at it, but it didn't look, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing what how that improves the feel of the car. You know, I'm kind of a stickler for these things, but it just goes to show that if something's going on, you can probably, if you care enough, time, money, you know, dependent, you can fix it. Sometimes it's not easy, and sometimes it's somebody else's fault because it's a used car, and that's the way it goes. So I won't really feel good until I do my commute once. There were some, you know, bumps that I constantly would go over and constantly just like, there it is, you know. So, you know, I'll be really happy when that comes back. Good. But so far, you know, just kind of taking it easy. It seems pretty quiet, actually, and it's funny, the calipers are pretty quiet, you know, relatively speaking. I do think I need to fix that, but it, you know, as I had begun to suspect that the end links were the latest worsening problem, and in fact that end link was. Although the joint itself was fine, the stud attachment was something screwed up there. So I guess that's it, and maybe I'll make another video someday if something else happens, which it probably will. Later.